All right, good morning, everybody. Very last day of trading here in August, and ooh, it's been a bit slow and kind of had to really pick and choose my times throughout this month. But nice and green on the month. Didn't have any trades yesterday, but did get some trades in today. So we're gonna break them down in this video. Let's go. Let's trade.
Hey guys, are you tired of using the same old stock market scanner and getting the same old results? Add some intensity to your trading with the Intensity Stock Watch Scanner. The intensity indicator is the only predictive price action indicator that alerts before significant reversals, allowing trade management with unprecedented timing and accuracy. Now with this exclusive link and code GDTISW, you can get 20 to 30% off every month on your subscription. It's time to finally get the results you've been looking for and intensify your trading with the Intensity Stock Watch Scanner.
All right, so I didn't get this one recorded because it was in pre-market, but Snap popped here in pre-market, and I took a real small share size, just 50 shares, just trying it here in case it wanted to do the pop and fall here in pre-market, which it did not. It just kind of held up, so eventually I just covered out there for a small $11 loss on those 50 shares. But let's now get into the live trades here. Much later on in the morning, it's like 10:15, and you can see ALLK hitting on the scanner into the high 30s right here below my head on the webcam, and look at this thing starting to go. So I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, let's see if we can get up towards 540 on a 550 push here on ALLK, and I'll look to start it. And this is a $5 stock. I've got plenty of buying power here. I don't think the range is going to be anything crazy that's going to get me into trouble here, so I decide that we can do a little bit bigger share size than normal on this one. So I'll go ahead and put 300 shares out there at 540. I get the shares short there filled at 540. So we've got the starter here on ALLK, 300 shares short, and we'll see if this thing can pop now up through the 550s, 560s towards 570 before we start looking for the first ad here on ALLK. But if it wants to come down below 520, I'll be okay starting to piece that out too. So here we go. It does continue. It gets up into the 570s there. I'm going to go ahead and add in another 300 shares there at 570. So now I have 600 shares short at 554. And now if we can make a move up towards 6, I will be looking to add in 600 more shares as we move up towards 6. And like I said, willing to go much bigger share size on this one, even if it want to continue through 6, because it's not going to get me into, well, shouldn't get me into too big a trouble based on the range that I believe this one has based off the daily chart and everything involved with it. Wasn't really too concerned with it, so I was like, all right, this is one of those that is a good opportunity to try and get a little bit bigger share size in and try and have a decent trade here. So it starts coming back down, but I wasn't going to partial this 600 out unless we got under 540. It got down to like 545 there and starts popping up again from 545. So I'm watching it as we push up towards the $6 range here. Want at least through 590, looking for through 590 here before we add in that 600 more shares here. So you can see it now in the 40s on the scanner below me, making a beautiful run. There's up into the 590s. Going to go ahead and click the button. I get the fill there for 600 more shares at 590. I now have 1,200 shares short at an average of 572. And like I said, I was still willing to go on this one. You can see only down about $200 there with 1,200 shares. So was willing to go even more on this if it wanted to pop up through 6. And I just really thought this had the potential to be a nice winner here on ALLK. So we're going to wait and see what it does now. Can it pop through 6, or is it going to start fading off? Well, it starts fading off a little bit. I'm like, all right, if we get down through 560 towards 550, I'll go ahead and take 800 off. So I take 800 off here. I was hoping to get, a 550 push, but it's starting to get hung up and snag there a little bit. So I decided to take 800 shares off, just lock in a little bit of profit, and then I still have 300 shares left from 590 that I can try and fade down a little bit further here. So let's see if we can get those down under 550 before I start piecing those shares out. So it did get down under 550 and then it popped right back up. So I decided just to put an order out for 100 shares here at 551. There's the fill there with those 100 at 551. Now down to just 200 shares left. Really looking for a nice move under 540 here and maybe start that move back down towards 520, 510 was really the goal and the hope here on ALLK. But at the same time, I'm watching it here. It's hitting into that 9 SMA. It's getting right down towards the VWAP, and it's starting to put in some little bit of curlage here, right on that $half number around the 550. So I'm like, what do I do here? Do I want to let this full 200 ride, or if I see it start moving up again, should I take another 100 off? So I see it start to make a little bit of a move up here, and I decided to cover out another 100 shares right there at about 552. So down to 100 shares here now on ALLK, and I'm going to go ahead and get my orders loaded up for 50 shares each to partial those out at 50 if I can get a move down. But it starts making a nice pop here, so I'm like, ooh, maybe I can restart this thing, get another nice winning trade here on ALLK. So it's popping up towards 6 here, and I hit the button. I forgot that I had loaded that 50 shares in, so I took 50 shares initially, then I hit it again to get another 50 shares in, just to add 100 shares total to this and get back to 200 shares, and then I was looking for up through 630 to start really adding in again beyond that. But after this move, unfortunately, just kind of went sideways and was really hanging on to that 590 level and just could not break it. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm just going to call it most likely a month, call it a trade here on ALLK. I'll just put them out at 590 and see if I can just close this one out and ensure the nice green trade. So there it comes down, gets me the fill at 590. So didn't really make anything on those remaining shares, but got out of that one for a nice win of 136 there on ALLK. Could have been better, but it is what it is. So here we go. We had one more today. It is in Nerve. This one was on Locate, so I had to pay for them, but it wasn't too expensive. But it is Nerve, and if it's a lower float, and it's got a crazy daily that it's had recently, so I wanted to make sure I was really nice and easy on this one, especially I didn't want to do anything at this point to ruin the day, to ruin the month. So go ahead and get it started here. Just 50 shares at 1431 on Nerve, and I'll look to see if we can get up through the 1460s now for another 50. So even if we get the next ad and then a third ad, that would only be a total of 200 shares here that I would ever have in Nerve. So here it comes. It's pushing up through the 60s now, and actually gets better move than that. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can get 70. There's up through 70. Click the button, get the fill there at 70, and now I have 100 shares short at 1451. Now we'll look to see if we can get a move up through 15 for the final ad here in Nerve. Get up to 200 shares, and then beyond that, I don't really want to go anymore if it's just going to get silly on this one. So watching it here to see if we can get up through 15, and I'm watching here's a nice little pop up into the 1520s. Go ahead, click the button. I got the fill there at like 1516, and I'm in 200 shares short now at 1483. I'm just like, you know what, if I can just get a nice little move down towards like 1475, I'll just put it out and be happy to take an extra little win on this, call it a day, call it a month, and go from there. So put the order out 1475, and it comes down pretty quickly here into the 1480s, gets down, fills me there at 1475 for just a small $16 win. But on the day, that puts me up 141.59. Nice green month. Gonna close out August right there. Move on to September tomorrow. Pretty happy with that overall. Pretty happy with ALLK. Could have been better if it would have given me the nice big fade off of that secondary move, but you know, it can't always be perfect, and I can't complain about that trade, especially how these last few weeks have been with just the kind of up and down, have a good day, have a nothing day, have a real small day, have a good day, how it's been the last few weeks here through the end of August and hopefully the end of summer. So that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Appreciate you being here. I'll see you later.